The name of my project is Edwin Hubble, a man to be remembered. Edwin Hubble was an amazing astronomer who faced trial and conflict to let the world know of his important discoveries. His observations and mathematical equations are still used today. Many organizations believe he is one of the 100 most influential scientists. He was able to prove that our galaxy is one of billions, when many people believed that our Milky Way and the stars we saw beyond were the extent of the universe. Hubble also discovered that nebulae, cloudy gas-like objects, stars, and other galaxies are moving away from Earth and each other at a constant rate. This shows that the universe is expanding and growing. Scientists have also been able to use Hubble's mathematical equations, called the Hubble constant, to help determine the age of our universe. Even though his discoveries were great, he often felt shortchanged and ignored the specific honors, such as the Nobel Peace Prize. He was often at conflict with his co-workers and fellow astronomers. However, time has shown that Edwin Hubble's patience, hard work, attention to detail, and dedication to his craft helped shape our understanding of the universe and our place inside it. Edwin Hubble was born in 1889 in Marshfield, Missouri, with 7 siblings. When he was 8 years old, his grandfather let him stay up and gaze at the stars through a telescope as a birthday present. His fascination with astronomy was born. At age 10, Hubble moved to Chicago, Illinois, where he attended high school and excelled in sports. There he beat the Illinois state high jump record and the wrestling heavyweight champion. He is well known for his athletic abilities, which was beneficial in his future work and as a soldier. He later earned a scholarship to attend the University of Chicago in 1906. While there, he worked as the assistant of Robert Millikan, a man who later received the Nobel Prize for his works. Due to his academic and athletic abilities, Hubble next transferred to the University of Oxford in England to study law, which his father insisted he pursue. While he was at Oxford, he quickly adapted to the social ways of England. He adopted an English accent, dressed in traditional English clothing, and enjoyed the culture. He tried to take all of his law classes in 2 years, so that he could take classes he wanted to. He wrote home telling a story about how he helped other Oxford students understand complex research by another astronomer. While he was away at Oxford, his father died unexpectedly. He returned home to help support his mother, sisters, and family. As the family was in debt, Edwin decided to work to help. He began to work as a teacher in Indiana to teach law and physics. He wasn't a very good teacher, though, and felt out of place dressed in his European clothing and English accent. It didn't pay very well either, which didn't help his family. After a year, he felt driven to return to school to finish his degree in astronomy. In 1914, Hubble returned to the University of Chicago. Since he was poor and it was too late to get any grants or scholarships, one of his professors helped him to get a position to work at Yerkes Observatory part-time. This was perfect for him. He was able to operate the large telescope, assisted professional astronomers with their photography and data. He learned to study nebulae, the odd gassy objects that were mysteries to astronomers. While working at Yerkes Observatory, he had the chance to meet and work with Vesto Slipher, another well-known astronomer who was also studying nebulae. This set the stage for Edwin's future discoveries. Due to his hard work and research, he was offered a position working full-time at the prestigious Mount Wilson Observatory in California in 1916. Before taking the job, Hubble finished a doctorate in astronomy. He wanted to take the position, but was determined to make a difference by enlisting to serve in the army during World War I. Many of his schoolmates from Oxford were serving and dying in Europe, so Edwin felt compelled to do his part to help. His sister Lucy also served as a nurse. In the coming years, Edwin would use his army coat, gloves, and other clothing to stay warm during cold, clear nights working and studying the stars. At the end of the war, Edwin had earned the ranking of major and was highly respected. In 1919, he took the job working at Mount Wilson Observatory. The work there was hard and often miserable. The night shifts and the cold were exhausting, but he was dedicated. Many of his co-workers made fun of his English accent and clothing, but they admired his skill and his work. Some of the best and brightest astronomers worked at this observatory, and Hubble had serious disagreements and conflicts with a few of them. Many of them helped him as he began formulating his theories and equations. While working at the observatory, he met his wife Grace Burke. They were a great match. They did not have any children, but had similar interests such as sports, languages, and culture. After his death, Grace was helpful in continuing the legacy that he built. Many people state that they were very close and happy together. Even though he enjoyed his work, his conflicts and his co-workers and other astronomers deeply troubled Edwin. Even though he admired their work, he struggled with the constant bickering, name-calling, and mocking. One of the men he deeply disliked was Harlow Shapley, but he learned a lot from him measuring distances from stars. Edwin also learned a lot from Henrietta Leavitt, another astronomical photographer who helped him gather data. Thanks to these two, Edwin was able to determine the sighting of another galaxy 700,000 light-years away called Andromeda by using a Cepheid star. This information showed that there was more than just our Milky Way galaxy. This was a finding that was a huge deal. Astronomers around the world were now discussing Edwin's work. Even the amazing Albert Einstein came to meet with Edwin and the team at Mount Wilson Observatory. Einstein was able to use some of Edwin Hubble's information and theories to make adjustments to Albert's own theory of relativity. With the help of his trusted friend and colleague Milton Humason, Edwin discovered that nebulae was moving away from Earth in watching light. The light was redshifting. This showed that the universe was expanding. He was able to do a document and prove that this was happening. Using math, he was able to prove and explain this, and it became known as Hubble's law. He was also determined ways to measure the speed the universe was growing, which is called the Hubble constant. To help people understand how this works, he used this analogy. He told people to picture a balloon that was decorated with pictures of galaxies and nebulae on it. As the balloon is blown up, the pictures are pushed farther and farther away from each other. Edwin Hubble's studies also led to other important theories and discoveries, including the Big Bang theory and Hubble's law. Hubble's discoveries are one of the most stunning in astronomy history. Edwin's works earned him the honor of having the famous Hubble Space Telescope named after him. He also realized all the other galaxies are receding from the Milky Way, which made him think the universe was expanding. Due to these incredible discoveries, Edwin Hubble overcame personal conflict to become a deeply respected astronomer whose work changed our understanding of the universe. His theories led to the Big Bang theory. Edwin Hubble's legacy will continue to influence everyone who studies the stars, nebulae, galaxies, and our universe.